Hello everyone, I am back here with another video. It is a modern healer here. Back here with another video. And today I want to talk about how when you have a spiritual awakening, how some people will just dislike you because of your spiritual beliefs. So, I didn't really grow up in a Christian household or anything like that, but that's the religion that I was surrounded by when I was younger was Christianity. And when I was younger, I never was even so a super religious individual. I had a friend when I was younger where they were always at church. Like they were at church for Bible study, and they were at church every Sunday. And when I spent the night at that friend house, I knew that I had to bring extra clothes with me to go to church with them. Like that's the type of friend that I did have, but I never too much so was like a religious person, and it never was pushed on me, but that is what I was surrounded by. And I remember when I was younger, cuz me and my brother went to this Baptist church. And I remember I was in the children's church because my brother, he's older than me, so he was in the regular church where that's where the teenagers and the adults were. But when I was younger, I just had to be in the little children's section. And so they had this woman was reading to us. And I remember I was asking her questions about the story that she was reading to us. The question that I asked her is because and what she was reading to us, she was explaining she basically was using Jesus and God, saying Jesus and God was the same person. And it was just really confusing to me because they were saying Jesus and God was the same person, and then they were saying Jesus is the son of God and things of that sort. So it was very confusing to me. So at that young age, I was asking questions, and I was asking her oh, are Jesus and God the same, or how can they be the same? Like it never made sense to me. And I often had thoughts oh well, does God have parents? Like stuff like that. And when I became older, that's when I started having this spiritual quest. And I started asking philosophical questions. And I was even asking that, but when I was younger, the adults they didn't want to answer those questions. And yeah, they didn't want to ask those questions. And they had molded me into a version of myself to where, because they didn't want me asking them questions, so they tried to mold me into a version of myself to where I wasn't going to be outgoing, where I wasn't going to have a mind of my own, where I wasn't going to be asking questions. And for a while I was in that version of myself because I wanted to please the people around me, and they were making it seem just me having a voice, and me having my own identity, and being my own individual and standing in my own power. Like they had a problem with it, and I broke out of that. So yeah, I do read the Bible from time to time. I can't even tell you what religion I am because I'm just not a religious person. I couldn't say oh, I'm Christian because I don't follow Christianity practices. I can't completely be oh, I'm a hoodoo person because I don't follow all of that. It's I'm just not in that box. So when people talk to me about religion and things of that sort, I don't even like to have those conversations anymore. For a while in my past, people would be trying to debate me and stuff like that, and be even when I'm wearing my crystals, or if I'm wearing a Hamza or Ankh, people want to debate me, and they want to tell me, oh, that's not Christian, or even if they be that's not Christian, they want to be oh, you should be in this religion. Like they be trying to convert me into their religion and stuff like that. But like I get it. Because when I first had my spiritual awakening, that's how I was pushing that information on everybody. Cause like I seen the results of how it benefited me. Because like and like just because I'm not a religious individual doesn't mean that I don't believe in God. Like that's where people be getting confused at. You know, how are you not a religious individual yet you still believe in God? That's where people get confused. Like the reason why I personally stopped going to church is one is because it never felt right to me in my spirit. Like, you know, being in an environment, it didn't feel right to me. The last time that I went to church, I actually did find a church that I did like, but still I can tell like, you know, they had like more so of like, you know, that religious type of mindset and like, you know, they just weren't open to me for the simple fact that I'm open, you know? I burn sage. I wear crystals. I like tarot cards. I like oracle cards. Da da da. There's certain things that I don't do. You know, people want to yell blasphemy, blasphemy, and that's what I was dealing with in the first part of my journey. You know, and I still deal with it from time to time where people would discriminate against me because of my spiritual beliefs, you know, or that's mainly what it is. It's like my spirit upsets people. They don't know what to do with me. They don't know where to categorize me. And the for me to answer that for them is just categorize me like with a check in my hand. Like that's it. Like and leaving me alone in peace. That's it. That's it. But yeah, so like I never was like an atheist or anything like that. I remember when I was younger, someone explained to me that they were atheists and it didn't really make sense to me because I always knew that I have a creator, that there's a creator. Like what do you mean somebody didn't create this? Like there's a creator. There's something that's larger than life and greater and beyond the human mind. There is. There is a higher power. I have experienced miracles. I wasn't like too much of how I am now into spirituality and so into with all of that. But even too, like in my spiritual journey, I learned too, like to enjoy life. Like that's where like that's why I'm not a religious individual is because like there's somebody trying to tell you how to live your own life, tell you what to do, and when I got that calling and I realized that I could communicate with God without a middleman, I answered it. Like, you know, that situation that recently just happened where, like, the pastor was telling people, like, oh, you know, telling the ushers, close the doors, close the door. So, yeah, that's exactly why my spirit told me a long time ago the church is not a safe place for someone like you. It's not. When I was younger, I stopped going to church because they was always gossiping about each other. So judgmental. It's not a, it doesn't feel like a safe place. It's not all that it's made up to be. In certain industries, it wasn't always like this. It is the people who have become super greedy and they think that humans are disposable. They don't care about humans no more. They don't care about people no more. But there is great value in people. But in better words, for me, there is great value in happy people. I don't fuck with unhappy people because they always miserable and they always trying to bring misery with them. They be looking like a ball of sadness, trying to put their sadness on me. But yeah, basically, okay, so people will really have a problem with you because of your spiritual beliefs. Like, do you know the amount of people that be having a problem with me just because I rock crystals? What's your beef with crystals? You got a problem with me because I'm burning sage? Oh, I don't like the smell of sage. I bet you don't. With that negative energy, I'm going to need some sage for this. I bet you don't. Like, I got used to it. like people thought I was weird, the people that I had around me, but I had other people who like I feel on a soul level who feels like home. Like I know that they are meant to be on my journey with me. There's people like that too, but like there was a lot of people in my journey who were always judging me, and they still do because I'm not your average. They don't know what to categorize me as. They don't know. So they just like brush me off. And that's cool. People could brush me off, but just make sure you brush me off and run me my check at the same time, okay? But yeah, like it's just wild out here. Like they'll be like, "What are like?" It's always somebody who's triggered and mad. Like you could rock like Ankh jewelry or something like that, and it's always gonna be somebody who is triggered and mad. Do you know the amount of people that tried to have debates with me, like, oh, this and that? Like, really, like, why is that your business? Like, why do you care about my spiritual beliefs? Like I said earlier, I get it. Cause like when I first like had my spiritual awakening, I was telling everybody around me like, yeah, we need to go vegan. We need to cleanse our bodies. We need to take good care of our bodies, of our minds, of our souls, of our spirits. Be good energy. Be surrounded by good energy. Project, receive, give good energy in general, and just like talking about all of these healing abilities and these things that can help benefit people, because people think, oh, this disease, I have a disease. No, majority of the time the body is getting diseases because the body is stressed out. So most of the diseases is being created by stress. So everything that I have been doing and everything that I have learned has been about like relieving stress, because one thing about me, I'm not about to be stressed out, so I'm going to do the opposite of being stressed out. I like being happy, I like being calm, I like being at peace, I like being soft, I like to be in loving energy. But there's a difference. There's people out here in this world that don't like that, and that's okay. They can be like that, and that's why I choose to remove myself from environments, from people, from places that don't deserve my presence. They don't. You a miserable person, you don't deserve a happy person in your life. Especially if you're not willing to grow and open up to happiness and joy in your life. Because all they do is abuse the joy. That's all they do. They get mad at the joyful person. They get mad when you're optimistic. They get mad when you're feminine, you're soft. And it's a very weird energy, if you ask me. It's weird to me. The amount of people that get upset with you for being happy is really weird. And the lengths that they go. But like now, like I'm in a point in my life where I'm doing my best and trying my hardest not to like associate myself with that energy at all. It's all about energy. It's not about the vessel. It's about the energy. It's about the vessel too, but it's mainly about the energy. Because people think just because we got the same skin complexion, that means that there will be a synergy. But that's not the truth. Or they think, it's not the truth. It's not about. It's about energy. It's about people's spirits. That's what it's really about. And me, I rock with the peace. I'm wherever the peace is at. I'm wherever the money is at. I'm wherever all the abundance is. I'm where the healing is at. That's where I'm at. And they be mad when they could just get some healing. Like, but yeah, it's like people will have a problem with you because of your spiritual beliefs. Like with my singing bowls and stuff like that. Like literally, my community of people in my past, all them people that the universe had to get rid of and remove from my life. And now even at this point it's still happening, like where like I'm going through like aura cleanses like back to back, like because like I'm so sensitive to energy. That's how we all are. But some people just aren't aware to that sensitivity, and some people are more aware to it and they're more intertwined to it. It's like um It's like anything. Practice makes perfect. If you're gonna consistently like intuition in general, practicing listening to your intuition, then it makes perfect, etc., etc. But yeah, and I think it's weird too because like I'm like a black woman, so like there's all these stereotypes about like what black women are, and like you go on social media and they say, "Oh, this is what a black woman is," and da da da. And sometimes it's so like not to how I perceive the worth is, like a black woman's worth. I could understand, like I said, it's not about race, but it is too. Because, like, there's some black women, black people in general, that are just low vibrational, just in general. You have high vibrational people and low vibrational people. But like I think people be like kind of like confused, perplexed, don't know what to do when I come about because I'm not the stereotype of a black woman that they think I am. That I you know? And sometimes they do things in a manner to try to pull that stereotype out of me, like people who try to provoke you into anger because, they want you to be perceived in that way for whatever reason. These people need help, and you won't believe who some of these people are. Yeah. They say, "Oh, it's that group of people, da da da." You won't believe who some of these people are. That's why for me, it's always been about character for me. I value people's character. I value being in environments with like good character people. And that's why I don't trip and I don't stress out, as much as I should, especially when it comes to sabotage and betrayal. Because I know everything is gonna work itself out. Itself out. I know everything is gonna work itself out. I'm always gonna be where I'm meant to be at and who I'm meant to be around because of the energy that I put out. It don't matter about what people are projecting towards me. It's about what I put out. And oh yeah, if you aren't prepared for that, if you don't guard your spirit and your soul and your mind, it can take a toll on you. Like for years, like it like hindered me for years, allowing people to put their nonsense. I mean, yeah, put their nonsense and put their 2 cents in about how they feel about how I'm living my life when they need to be worried about their life. How are you mad at me because I'm burning sage? What does that have to do with you? When I'm just cleansing negativity. Why are you upset with me because I'm burning sage? What's wrong with y'all people? But you got people that's justifying the actions of people who are locking people in churches. It's just crazy. But that's why I just do my own thing and I ensure integrity in everything that I do because at the end of the day, it's a higher power that's watching me, and I want to make sure that when my time is up on this planet, that I'm gonna be good. I want to make sure that my soul is gonna be good in every lifetime. I'm always gonna nurture and nourish my soul. I'm always gonna feed my soul. And like the issue was, I was in environments where like people weren't like that deep. They weren't taking care of their soul. And I'm tired of being in environments like that and around people like that. It is draining. It is so draining. You gotta pacify everything. Like, you can't even be yourself. Like, it's so draining. It's so draining. Yeah, where people want to get upset with you because you got different spiritual beliefs than them. Like, but like I said, I get it because at that point, that's how I was. I thought my way was like the best way, but that's not the truth. Everybody has their own individual journey. Some people, Christianity works for them. Some people, like, whatever religion they're doing, that's what works for them. But what I do, that's what works for me. And like, I'm totally at a point in my life where like I don't really care about people's opinions like that no more, and it's so freeing. And sometimes some people want me to care more than I actually should care, but I really don't care because like I just don't care about anything that's like negative. I don't care about negative energy. Like I don't like having interactions with negative energy, and sometimes some people be trying to force like those type of interactions with me. And I'll be like, I'm just chilling, like I'm just sitting here minding my business. I'm just vibing. I'm just enjoying life. Why would I ever want to interact with you in your negative energy? Why would you ever approach me like that? I mean, look at me. Just really take a really good look at me. Do you see the peaceful aura? Do you see the seriousness? I'd be like, stop coming to me with that energy. Like, but I had to learn how to place boundaries and speak up for myself and all that. It was a lot of experience to get to certain points in my character and how to handle certain different things. It was a lot of experience and sometimes a lot of trial and error.